So there are lots of skills that we learn in the military that anyone can apply with enough practice. A lot of these skills will help you succeed in life, just in general. One of the skills you learn right off the bat when you join any branch of service is time management, punctuality. You learn to be on time or face the consequences. They instill a healthy amount of fear that if you miss a formation or you miss a meeting or you miss a PT session, the hammer's gonna drop. So what you learn how to do very early on in the military is backwards plan. And I'm sure a lot of people do this. It's not exclusive to the military. But if I know I have to be at the armory for weapons draw at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's a 30-minute drive typically, and I know that it takes me about 30 minutes to get ready, I will create buffers and work backwards from 5 a.m. to make sure that I leave enough time if there's gate traffic, or if one of the red lights is out, or there's an accident on the road that I have to detour around. So I'll give a buffer. I'll give a buffer for if I can't find a uniform item, which we'll get to that in a little bit. But if I can't find something in the morning, or my keys are missing or something like that, I have a buffer time built in so that I know I need to set my alarm and wake up at this time in order to make it there on time, with a little bit of grace for things that I can't plan for necessarily. And that feeds into the second skill, which is prepping things the night before. Again, not exclusive to the military, but it is certainly something that has helped me in my career with making sure that I'm ready to go in the morning. I'm not stressing out. I'm not starting my morning racing around trying to not be late. I set out my uniform. I make sure I have everything that I need. I make sure I have backups in my car. I make sure that I have my meals prepped and everything's just in the fridge ready to go. Another valuable skill that you learn, or at least it's refined in the military, is personal hygiene. How to take care of yourself, how to groom yourself, how to keep yourself healthy in less than clean environments. Boot camp or basic training is a really disgusting place to be. There's a lot of people from all over the country who all come together, and maybe some of them don't know how to brush their teeth properly. Maybe some of them have never worn deodorant before, and you're teenagers. For the most part, the people at boot camp are going to be teens or very young adults. And so the instructors have to teach people how to clean themselves properly, how to shave, how to wash in a field environment so that you don't end up getting nasty sores and flesh-eating bacteria taking over your body. And I don't know about you, but when I got a fresh haircut, my clothes look good, they fit well, and they're clean, I feel a lot more confident just going throughout my day. Another valuable lesson that I learned in the military is situational awareness. And this ties really closely into attention to detail. So a lot of what we learn when we are doing like a foot patrol, for instance, is scanning for a baseline and scanning for irregularities from that baseline. And not just scanning directly in front of us, but looking around, taking a look behind us, out to the sides. You're looking 5 meters around you, 15 meters, 50 meters out, and trying to see if there's anything going on that's out of the ordinary. It's just about being vigilant and being aware of what's going on around you, whether that be animals or people or objects that might seem out of place. The military taught me to assess, all right, that's a threat, nope, that's not a threat, and that kind of stuff. The next skill is adaptability. The military has taught me how to be adaptable and how to go into a situation understanding that it probably isn't going to go according to plan. That's why we need backup plans, right? We need a plan A, B, and C. That way, when plan A inevitably doesn't go 100%, we can fall back on some of the things that we established in plan B, and so on and so forth. Being flexible, being adaptable, these are things that the military has taught me, because if you're in the military or you've been in the military, you know that 9 times out of 10, the way that we plan for months, for an exercise, for a deployment, for a mission, it doesn't go according to plan. But that's okay, right? Because we plan for it to not go according to plan. This is one of my favorite ones, and I talk about this all the time on my channel, is the military teaches you how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Whether that means sleeping in a hole in the ground, or walking through knee-deep snow with a 50-pound pack on your back, or drinking 110-degree Saudi Arabian bottled water. We're taught to persevere through some of the discomforts that come with military life. And that makes you really appreciate when things are comfortable, when you have a nice warm bed, when you get to take a shower, when you have ice in your water. It really shifts your perspective and kind of lowers your expectations on what your level of comfort should be. And that helps build grit, right? Tenacity, determination. It helps you push through those difficult times and not just cave because it's uncomfortable. And another cool skill that we learn in the military is limits aren't really your limits. From the first day of boot camp, they are pushing you beyond your mental and physical limits to show you that those are just artificial. Now, of course, there are limits to mental fortitude, physical exhaustion, that kind of stuff, of course. But they are typically well beyond what you think in your brain are your limits. And the military does a really good job of just kind of like nudging you, a little healthy nudge. One of the first and most important skills that we learn in the military is that physical fitness and physical readiness is really, really important. We learn that the more physically fit you are, the better you're going to perform at your job and the better you're going to perform mentally, because you're not going to be exhausted when it's time to make really high stakes decisions. And this holds true anywhere. If you're exhausted going up a flight of steps, and then at the top of that flight of steps you have a job interview, you're not going to be making clear-headed decisions because your body's trying to recover from the physical exertion. And now I know everyone has different abilities, disabilities, what have you. Everyone is at a different stage in their fitness journey. But there is one universal truth. Get as fit as you can, and it's going to make your life a lot easier. So find the exercise, the fitness, the nutrition that works best for you and your limitations, your capabilities, and strive to do better every day. Because the fitter you are, the less pain you'll be in, the happier you'll be, the smarter you'll be. It improves every single facet of life. I one time heard a doctor or a researcher say, if we could put exercise in a pill, it would be the #1 best-selling pharmaceutical drug on the market, because of how well exercise reduces your risk for so many different diseases and ailments. It extends your lifespan, it extends your health span. So you might not be at the fitness level of a Green Beret or an ultra marathon runner, but if you get 1% better tomorrow because of a workout that you did or a food choice you made, that's progress. So you don't have to be in the military to learn and apply these skills to your life. Give yourself grace, challenge yourself, push those limits, but in a healthy way. Apply one thing at a time over the course of a couple of months and see how well these skills translate to success in your life.